sometimes it's just good to have a day where we stretch. So I decided that we could use one today. I have my band. I'll bring this out for one of our stretches. So if you want to grab your band, it could be your green one or your blue one. Doesn't matter for this one in particular. Blue actually might help you a little bit. And this is just one of my old favorite stretch series that I used to do. I'm going to add a little variety to it. But I hope that you guys like it, and I hope it's something that you could, just pull out on any given day if you just feel a little sore and you need a little stretching. So we're going to work the arms, the legs. We're going to also work that torso a little bit into some rotation, so it should feel really nice. Let's start actually there with that torso rotation. So I'm going to stack my legs in a 90-degree angle here. So my knees are bent at 90, my hips are bent at 90, and I'm laying down now on the mat. I'm going to let my bicep here be a pillow for me, but no, I'm not. I'm going to let my head rest on the floor as my arms extend out. And so try to get underneath that shoulder so the head of the deltoid's right on the mat. And then from here, we're going to lift this arm up in the air, and you're going to follow it with your eyes. And still keeping your knees pointing forward, you're going to bring this arm back. So now you have this amazing spiral of your spine. So think about this right hip pushing forward, or whatever your top hip is. Pull it forward just gently, and this pec right here is going to stretch out as your arm goes back to the back of the wall. And then you're going to bring that arm back up and stack it on top of your bottom arm. If your head's uncomfortable, you can use the little pillow here. Yeah. Let's do it one more time, stretching the fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhaling as you lay here, two things. Stretch fingertip to fingertip, reach, and then bring this top hip forward. So it's my right hip. I'm going forward. Excellent. Now from here, I'm going to take my hand up to my ear and then roll it forward again. So now I'm getting into the spiraling action, not only of my spine, but also the circumduction of my shoulder. So this big rotation that happens at my shoulder can make this circle. Oh, this feels so good. Lots of lines are stretching here. Push energy out of your knees as you reach and do this. Let's go back the opposite way now. So I'm going to bring my hand upward, stretch out, reach those fingertips out, and then stir it around. We got just about 3 of these here. Oh, pressing that hip forward. Feels so good. Sorry for all my O's and A's. And final one. Hopefully you're doing them too. Maybe you guys can comment and let me know. Okay, let's go over straight over to the other side. I'm going to make sure I stay very symmetrical today. So I'm laying on my right side now. My right arm goes out in front. Stretching that left fingertip just a little bit further. Look up in the air. Follow it with your eyes. So we want to get the cervical rotation and reach. Hold here. Reach fingertip to fingertip, and then pull this top hip like you're leaning forward with it. So you feel this amazing diagonal stretch from the top of that left hip to the top of the left shoulder. And then bring it back up and over. Rolling back onto that shoulder, and then inhale. Add the breath, exhale. Rotate and reach. And inhale, exhale. Good. Final time. We come up, reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. Hold it here, reach fingertip to fingertip. Rotate that hip forward. Awesome. And now from here, bring that elbow, bicep up by your ear and start to swirl in circles. So our eyes are going to follow the hand as much as possible. And we're feeling this nice rounded shoulder and mobility in that hip. Woo! Go one more here. And then we reverse the other way. Reach the fingertip up, follow with your eyes, stretch, 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 and stir it around. Let's do 2 more. Follow it around, and final one. Oh, yes. We don't do this enough. I know I don't. Oh, that was great. Okay, now from here, let's roll onto our backs. Let's see how much room I have. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to take my right knee into my chest. So my left hip stays anchored down, and right here you might already get a little pop up here of that quad, depending on how tight that hip flexor is. So really work to push this leg down. You might even reach through your heel and pull your toes back to you. And as we do this, we're going to pull this right knee into our chest. Good. Now from here, we'll do a few little flex and lengthen of that leg and then extend. So what I mean by that is I'm flexing my toe back and I'm lengthening right here. So reaching out of that hamstring, warming it up. That's it, we got 3. It's a kinder way to do it. Last one, hold it here. Excellent. Good, now take this left knee up. We're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee. And then we want nice straight lines here, nice parallel lines. So I'm going to take my right hand and push it into that knee. And at the same time, I'm kind of pressing my left hip down. What it wants to do, it wants to cock off to that left side like this. So instead, I'm really focusing on keeping my sit bones going parallel to the mat. And then I'm just going to try to keep everything squared off here. You'll feel that here in the outer glute. And then reach down, grab that left thigh if you can. This is where the band could come in handy. And then pull that thigh in. And then I'm a fan of doing a little bit of ballistic work. And ballistic just kind of means bounce or kind of softening into it. So I like to rock side to side, and that just feels nicer to me. So I'm just rocking out here side to side. Okay, one more nice tight pull here. And then I'm letting my hands go. My left foot goes down to the floor. My right knee is going to cross over. So I'm in this nice ladylike leg cross with that right leg on top. And with the right leg on top, I'm going to roll my knees over also to the right side, because what happens is the weight of this leg or this ankle is stretching this left hip, and it feels amazing. So I'm trying to keep the left hip down pretty good, but at the same time I'm letting it just kind of fall into that. Let the left ankle fall totally to the floor as you get into this stretch. Nice deep hip stretch here. Then roll back so both hips are square, they're flat on the floor. And then we're going to try to take our knees and pull them up in towards your chest. So now your low back just falls into the mat gently. And you pull those knees in, and if you can reach, you can start to come down those ankles and pull those ankles in a little bit tighter. And this is a nice stretch, deep stretch here. Good. Excellent. All right, now we let the left foot come back down to the floor. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and stretch it all the way out. And then let this right ankle come to the top of your quad on that right side. And then let this knee just fall off to the side. So we're in what would be, if you were looking aerial above me, it's a figure 4. So this knee's dropping down, and what I'm doing is I'm stretching this internal, your adductor muscles right here at the inside of your thighs. Yeah, just let that knee fall out. And then we're going to pull the knee up to the ceiling, let the foot fall onto the floor, and if you can reach, you're going to take this knee and pull it towards you. This is also where the band could come in handy, is you can loop that band around this thigh, trying to keep that foot flat on the floor and pull over you, and it's a nice stretch, goes deep into your hips. Try not to roll off of this side, keep that right hip bone down, and you're just going to get this really nice deep stretch in there. Whew. And then we go back into one more figure 4 stretch. Trying to square off the hips so they're even, not letting this hip bone be higher. I'm going to push it down. Let the knee drop down. Yes. And then pull the knee back up. The foot goes down to the floor. Grab your band and then pull that thigh towards your left shoulder. So it's going up. And then pushing this hip bone down. And you're creating space here. You're actually creating some space right here in your SI joint. Nice. Okay, Now we're gonna release that leg. I'm gonna take my band out, kind of shake it out here. And then I'm gonna pull my left ankle in. Reaching that right hip out. This is where we wanna keep this hip flexor from popping up. So reach out. Good. And then let the shoulders relax, bringing that awareness that you're not holding any tension here. I forgot this on the other side, but I always like to do a little ankle work. So good to maintain this mobility of the ankle. And then it also works your anterior tibialis, so this shin bone that doesn't get a whole lot of action. So I'll give you both right now. Okay, and then from here we'll do a little flex and point. Yes, stretch that hamstring out, wake it up a little bit. Let the shoulders relax, let the neck get long. Perfect. And last one. Good, and now I'm going to bend my knee, cross my ankle over, and try to square those hips off as I press this knee away. So straight lines here without that hip popping out to the side. Excellent. And if you want to rock a little bit here, you can. Or wait till you pull that knee towards your chest. Hands behind that right thigh. Rock it out. Tuck that chin down just a little bit. Some of us kind of get into this neck extension, so tuck that chin down a little and that'll help. Good, and then from here we release the thigh, let the right foot go to the floor, cross over like a lady here, and then we let our knees go to the opposite side or the same side as that leg. And so now we're stretching this hip. So my knees went over, I've got my left leg on top, and so I'm going to the left. Okay, so we have this diagonal line, right shoulder to knees, keeping that hip down and getting into this really nice stretch there. That's good. And then I bring the knees back up to the ceiling, both hips squared off, pull them up into my chest. My low back stretches on this one. And then hug those knees, or if you can reach down into the ankles. Maybe not so good on this side. I might just hold on to my knees on this side. And then a little rock side to side. And once again, I'm working up, tucking that chin down. As we do these stretches and you get pulled like this, it's just because you need a little bit more. We need a little bit more length in that back. So tucking that chin down will help lengthen those muscles. Your erector spinae, your multifidus, those muscles that keep you upright. Thank you muscles. All right, and then we're gonna uncross and let this foot now fall to the top of the thigh. We go into that figure 4 stretch. So my hips are squared off to the ceiling. I let that knee come as close to the mat as I can, rolling the shoulders down and back. And then I cross over, where I grab my band. And so you might be able to see better on this side. I'm taking my band and pulling up towards my right shoulder. And at the same time, this hip opens up to the ceiling. And then release. And then a little bit higher on that knee might change things for you. I know it just did for me. I need this. Good. And then one more time, just because I need it. Shh. And I think we probably need to go back into that figure 4 stretch one more time too. So band goes out. We'll go one more time back into that figure 4 stretch. Remember, through all this stretching, breathe deeply. Helps clear that body. Excellent. All right. Now let's pull both knees into our chest. Get that low back to stretch. And then hands can come behind the thighs. We're going to tuck the chin, come on up into a curl. And once again, this is lengthening those muscles down the back of the body. Just visualize that. If I go from my head down to my tail and reach it longer, it just stretches those muscles of the spine. Perfect. Okay, extending the legs up. We're going to come on over to kneeling position. So we're on all fours. And then from here, we're just going to let our body sink down. So you're letting those shoulders kind of squeeze together and your chest falls down to the floor. Can't see me, can you? There we go. And then from here, we're gonna round up. And so we're sinking down. This is all mostly in the chest and the thoracic spine here, the rib cage area. Just feel that mobility, it feels super good. Sinking down and then bringing it back up. Rounding, protracting the shoulders. So we're retracting the shoulders, bringing the shoulder blades together, and then spreading the shoulder blades apart. And one more time, bring the shoulder blades together and spread them apart. Good, now let's add the lumbar spine. So we weren't doing much on the low back, but now we are. We're gonna curl as we spread the shoulder blades. And now we're gonna arch as we squeeze them together. So once again, curl and tuck that low back, tuck your tail under, and then squeeze and bring them back together. Good, one more time, curl. And squeeze. Perfect. Okay, a little bit of stretching to get in between those shoulders. We're going to take this right hand, start to thread the needle, we call this, and reach the fingertips as you roll into the top of the shoulder here. So your hips can also come down. You can come into a child's pose if you like. Do it this way. And then at the same time, let's do this. Let's reach that left hand out and try to stretch those fingertips to the very end of your mat. So you may feel a stretch right here in your collarbone area. So we're going in this diagonal line here, or this kind of L-shaped line here. Excellent. Unthread the needle. I'm going to have to turn my head for a second as we go to the other way. So the shoulder comes down and you reach the fingertips up as you rotate there. Really nice. Bring it back through the center. Oh, this rotation is so good. All right, now in our child's pose seat, and by the way, if this is too much for you, you can bring a pillow here so you're not bending those knees at such an angle. So again, use some of those props. Pillow will keep you from that deep knee bend. And we'll go over to the right side as we press the fingertips out to the side and push your hips the opposite way. So hands go one way, stretching through the lats here, you're opening that area up. And then walk it through as you come over to the left. So fingertips go out, hip bones go the opposite direction. Press those hips down into the mat. Good, one more time, each side, really reach. Sideways stretch. And then to the left, hand on top, press into those hips. Gorgeous work, guys. And then bring it back up. Good, from here, I'm going to sit out with my legs. Actually, I'm just going to extend my left leg and I'm going to bring my right one across my body. And first thing I'm going to do is like take it in and hug it like a baby. Hugging my baby here. And so this leaning back slightly starts to open that hip up. Yeah, and stretches your low back a little bit. Then you take your same hand as the knee. So I've got my right knee, my right hand. And I'm going to start to crawl around to the back. So this elbow comes into my thigh and I start to look the opposite direction. So with my cervical spine, I'm rotating. With my thoracic spine, I'm rotating. Good. I'm getting into that hip. You can tell I like to stretch my hips a lot. I'll come back to the center. Good. And let's do the other side. So we cross over the opposite way. Go ahead and first hug this knee into your chest and lean back, and this opens that space underneath that hip. Yeah, let's that femur bone drop into the socket here. Shoulders relax. Remember those deep breaths. Excellent. And then taking the elbow now outside your knee, same side hand, so left arm, left leg. We start to rotate. Think about lengthening out of the spine as you rotate. So you're growing taller and then you're turning. Grow tall and then turn. Good. And then the more you pull this knee closer to you, the more you'll feel that stretch into those hips. Excellent. All right, bringing those legs back in front. We're going to do a forward flexion here. So we lean over those legs, reach towards those toes. Feel that once again down that whole back of your body. Relax the shoulders and the neck as you reach towards those toes. And then let's go into a flexion here. So pull those toes back at you. Flex the heels. Try to keep the pinky toes from going inward like that. Pull them back out. Yes. And one more time, point. And one more time, flex. And yours might look like this, and that is perfect because you're perfect. Yes. Awesome. Okay, finishing off in some flexion work. So I'm going to take my right leg out to the side here. My left ankle follows it, so I'm in this mermaid sit. My right arm's going to go over. I'm going to reach over. See this nice C-shaped curve here? My left shoulder drops down. Reach, reach, reach from fingertip to hip. Good. Now we're going to add a little rotation to this as well. So we're going to turn and look at the wall to our front now. Bring it back. Come back over, and we actually are going to flex over this way. So relax the shoulders. Try to keep your body squared off to the front. As you flex over, and you'll really feel this down at the top, right at the top of that hip bone, of that iliac crest on that left side. Reach it back up, and let's go one more time, trying to relax the shoulder here. Gorgeous, bring it back up. Let's do the other side, shall we? So the right ankle comes in the front, the left ankle comes behind. Right hand goes down. First I'm lengthening my spine, reaching over into the C-shaped flexion. See how deep you can get. Can you flex a little deeper? And now we add the rotation. So turn your body, take this hand with you, and look at the wall. Oh, it's a great spiral here. Come back to center. And then lengthen all the way up. By the way, you guys can hold those stretches as long as you want. You can go back into this. Let's go the other way. Right arm comes up and over. Relax that left shoulder. And we didn't do this, but you can also rotate this way. Try to keep that knee down. Bring it back to center. And lengthen all the way back up. Excellent work. Thank you all. I hope you really enjoyed this, and we'll earmark this one for whenever you need a little stretching, a little mobility work.